Chris, what is our second main topic today?
This is from Nick Rojas. Hello there, John. Hope you're having a great day. I was wondering if you have stumbled upon what seems to indicate the Netflix's Daredevil series and Charlie Cox's portrayal is now canon to the MCU. The website has a page dedicated to the Daredevil character we saw in the Netflix series, and it states that the events of No Way Home is a straight continuation of Matt Murdock's story last season in Season 3. Do you personally think this confirms not only that Netflix's Daredevil is now canon to the MCU, but also means it confirms that other Netflix Marvel shows are canon?
All right. Thanks a lot for saying that in. And one of the big questions that's been running around even before Spider-Man No Way Home came out was, is the Daredevil, and by extension the other Netflix Marvel shows, are those shows canon to the MCU? Because the MCU has never referenced those shows. They've never, now the shows often reference the MCU, but the MCU never referenced the shows. It was much like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., where a lot of people wondered, is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. a part of the MCU canon overall? Because they often reference the MCU, but the MCU never referenced Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And then, of course, Kevin Feige in recent months has made it pretty damn clear that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is not a part of MCU canon. So what about Daredevil? Because Spider-Man No Way Home comes out and Charlie Cox is there as Daredevil. That just heightened it. To add to the confusion, we also had Kingpin show up, although this is clearly a different Kingpin than we had before. I mean, you know, the Hawaiian shirt wearing, strength levels, all that kind of stuff.
I heard he's like post-blip Kingpin.
Some people said that it was post-blip Kingpin, but the post-blip didn't do that to anybody else, right? And then Charlie Cox comes out the other week. We talked about this on the show the other week, where Charlie Cox comes out and says, this isn't really the same guy. Like, this is a reimagined iteration of the character. It's like, okay, so that makes it sound like what I've been believing, not told by anybody, what I've been believing is that, okay, so they've got Charlie Cox's Daredevil because everybody loved Charlie Cox's Daredevil. But much like Disney put Grand Admiral Thrawn in the Star Wars universe, it's not the same Grand Admiral Thrawn that was in the Heir to the Empire book series. It's very close. It looks a lot alike, but it's a different Grand Admiral Thrawn. Just like this is a Daredevil that it's very, very close. It's almost identical, but it's not the same one. But still, we've never known. But then, this weekend, Marvel's official website, on the character bio page of Matt Murdock, they've got a write-up of Matt Murdock's history, and it's all from the Daredevil show. But all of a sudden, a new paragraph appeared on it that looked like it settled the discussion. This is what it said. The final paragraph that they added said this: sometime later, Matt was hired as an attorney to defend Peter Parker, as Peter had been publicly outed as Spider-Man and accused of Mysterio's murder. Though Peter was legally cleared of any wrongdoing, Matt warned him he'd still have to face the court of public opinion and advised Harold Happy Hogan to hire a good lawyer. As if on cue, a protester threw a brick through the window of the Parker's apartment in support of Mysterio. Fortunately, due to his heightened senses, Matt was able to catch the brick before it hurt anyone inside. Okay, so here's the key. The first two words, sometime later. So on Marvel's official website, it showed describing Matt Murdock in the MCU, and then it just continued on. Sometime later, Matt went on and did this. So a lot of people, understandably so, and rightfully so, started writing into me and saying, does this settle it? That it is absolute canon with Marvel? Well, no. Because as we have seen happen on StarWars.com, where bios were written and then later changed because the bios weren't accurate or reflective of what canon was, they went in and they quickly removed that paragraph. As you can see in the update down here, this comes to us from CBR. Down there in the update, it says, update, Marvel has removed the paragraph about Matt Murdock's appearance in Spider-Man No Way Home from his live-action biography detailing his television history. So what did come out and look like, well, that's definitive. Daredevil is, the show on Netflix is part of MCU canon. It's never been referenced before. It's never been mentioned before. But that one paragraph on Marvel's official website appeared to make it conclusive. Well, that's no longer the case. Apparently somebody wrote something that was inaccurate or wrong or whatever, and they decided to pull the paragraph down as soon as people started talking about it. Now, I want to say this. Them pulling it down, I do not believe definitively says what I have suspected. Because, you know, I suspect that what we're going to find out here is that this is a very similar Daredevil, but it is not the identical Daredevil, just as Grand Admiral Thrawn was very similar, but not the same one. That's what I believe they're leading towards. But I still don't know for sure. I don't believe that them pulling that paragraph down definitively tells us that this is a different Daredevil than the MCU Daredevil. There could be other explanations. It could be that the what they wrote was accurate, but they weren't ready to post it yet. Or that maybe what they wrote was accurate, but it's incomplete and they wanted to change something in it. All I'm saying is that I don't believe that them pulling it down 100% confirms that this is a different Daredevil. I mean, it could be that they went, whoa, that's inaccurate. That's making it sound like this is the same Daredevil and it's not, pull it down. That's possible. And that does fall in line with what my theory is, but it does not definitively prove my theory by any stretch of the imagination. We could still find out later on. Kevin Feige may come out and say, hey, just so everybody knows, we're now going to start to acknowledge all the events of the Netflix series. The Netflix series are canon. He could very well do that. I'll be a little bit surprised, but I won't fall out of my chair with shock. So that's still possible. But I'm just going to say, for now, if I had to put up $1, I would still say all the evidence I've looked at so far, from what Charlie Cox has said, from what Kevin Feige has said, from what we've seen, I still believe this is another situation just like Grand Admiral Thrawn. It looks a lot alike. It looks like a duck. It walks like a duck. It sounds like a duck. But in this particular instance, it's not actually a duck. This isn't the same one from the series. But I'm not willing to put $1,000 on that. I could very easily have my mind changed about that. Anyway, Chris, with all the stuff we've seen already, from everything that Charlie Cox said before, to this paragraph going up, then the paragraph being removed, first of all, what do you think about the paragraph itself and its removal? And then where does that leave you right now on the whole question of, is it or isn't it the exact same Daredevil from the show?
I mean, the paragraph going up was, okay, great. We get the Daredevil that we know and love. Excellent. I'm here for it. And then the paragraph being taken down was, ooh, there's an intern getting fired today. Yeah. Someone is not getting their college credit from the Disney College program. Oof. I am not going to believe anything unless it comes from Kevin Feige's mouth directly. Yeah. You know, and as much as this is Charlie Cox's character, right, we really have embraced him as Daredevil. And I'm so glad that he is going to continue in this role playing Matt Murdock. But I mean, I don't even believe him when he says this is a different character. I need Kevin Feige to tell me the trajectory, frankly. I need him to say, yep, this is what it is, because he's the mastermind behind it all. He's weaving this Dickensian web of all these characters knowing each other and being connected. And while, you know, this could be that Matt Murdock variant, you know, it's a duck variant, I'm still holding out hope that this is the Matt Murdock that we've seen before, just because I loved that show so much. I really still want the Foggy we know. I still want the Karen we know. I'm hoping everyone gets pulled back on board.
Now, of course, the one problem that does present is, of course, if you pull that in, then you're saying everything that happened in the Netflix universe is canon.
Exactly.
And there are already some things that they've already contradicted in that overall. So it's going to be interesting to see which way they go. And you're right. There's no way we're going to know definitively until Kevin Feige comes out and says one thing or the other, right? And once he does, good, that'll put it to bed. I think there are definitely some positives if it is the Daredevil carrying over, because that means the John Bernthal Punisher is still there, which is the one that really excites me. Mm-hmm. I could give or take Iron Fist. I could give or take Jessica Jones, to be honest. I could give or take Iron Fist. I like the first half of season 1 of Iron Fist, but then to me it kind of fell apart after that.
Just focus on Colleen Wing. That's all you need.
I am all about Colleen Wing.
Colleen Wing is great.
She turned down an MCU thing so she could go and do Matrix. But I mean, I don't know. We'll have to see what they're going to be doing with this. question is for you guys. What do you think about this? A paragraph that seemingly put the whole issue to rest was put up, and then apparently making a big statement by taking it down. Where do you fall in this whole conversation right now? Whatever you guys are thinking, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. You know what's going to help you have a wonderful week? Making sure you got a finely trimmed nether regions with our friends at Manscaped. Hey guys, we want to take a second and thank a sponsor of today's video, the good folks at Manscaped. You know, I was in the shower the other day and I looked down and I thought, my goodness, the boys look fantastic. Dr. Jack Hammer, the amazing Mr. Fantastical, have never looked or felt better, and that is in part due to our friends at Manscaped. Because our friends at Manscaped are the global leaders in below-the-waist hygiene and are turning men's shower dreams into their favorite routine with the all-new Ultra Premium Collection. This all-in-one hygiene skin and hair bundle is designed to upgrade the everyday man's shower routine from head to toe. Your skin, hair, and balls deserve the best, my friends. You start off using the cologne-infused Ultra Premium Body Wash with aloe vera and sea salt to keep your skin feeling clean and moisturized all day. Then boom, it's time to take care of your hair. Simply apply the 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner that cleanses and nourishes your hair all in one step. Then once you dry yourself off and hop out of the shower, it's time to protect yourself from body odor by applying the Manscaped aluminum-free deodorant. And do you have tattoos or any dry skin? A lot of us do. It's time to hit your skin with the hydrating body moisturizer spray. Cap it all off by applying some Manscaped lip balm. And then last but not least, we're moving on to the Lawnmower 4.0 electric trimmer to clean off any unwanted body hair. So guys, get 20% off plus free shipping with the code Campea, that's C-A-M-P-E-A, at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the code Campea at manscaped.com. And a special thank you to the good folks at Manscaped for keeping us looking and feeling good and for being a sponsor of this episode of the John Campea Show.